Supreme Leader of the Islamic Revolution of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, released a message on Thursday congratulating the nation on what he highlighted as a victory against the Zionist regime of Israel. The Eurasian Economic Forum 2025 kicked off Thursday in Belarus with the attendance of over 2,700 participants from 33 countries. And in Mexico, the Board of Directors of the National Banking and Securities Commission decreed temporary management intervention of two financial institutions following accusations of money laundering by the U.S. government. Hello and welcome to From the South. I'm Alejandra Garcia from teleSUR Studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. The Supreme Leader of the Islamic Revolution of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, released a message on Thursday congratulating the nation on what he highlighted as a victory against the Zionist regime of Israel. In his third televised message since June 13th, when Tel Aviv launched its unprovoked aggression against Iran, Khamenei underscored the heavy blow dealt to the Israeli military by the local armed forces. The leader also paid tribute to those killed as a result of the attacks, including senior military commanders and scientists whom he described as valuable and faithful in their service. Moreover, Khamenei hailed the unity and solidarity displayed by Iranians amid the Israeli-US aggression, adding the nation proved its nobility and strength of character.
I want to congratulate the great Iranian nation. I would like to offer a few congratulations to the nation. First, congratulations on the victory over the fallacious Zionist regime. Despite all the noise and claims, the Zionist regime almost collapsed under the blows of the Islamic Republic.
In this context, Khamenei disregarded statements by U.S. President Donald Trump on the damage inflicted by the unprovoked strikes on nuclear facilities, stressing they were exaggerated to manipulate the narrative.
The United States attacked our nuclear facilities, a matter that is independently worth pursuing for prosecution in international courts, but they failed to do anything significant. The President of the United States greatly exaggerated what had happened. It became clear that he needed this exaggeration. The Islamic Republic delivered a hard slap to the United States' face by attacking one of its key bases in the region, Al Udeid Air Base, and inflicted damage.
Israeli genocidal forces have killed nearly 20 Palestinians in the early hours of Thursday in attacks across the north and south of the Gaza Strip. Health authorities in the Palestinian enclave confirmed the fatalities as a result of two bombings, one of which targeted a school sheltering displaced persons. Another strike hit the surroundings of the Jordanian hospital in northern Gaza. The latest report by the Palestinian Ministry of Health has confirmed that 56,100 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces since the October 2023 onslaught on the enclave, while more than 129,000 have been injured and 210 kidnapped. In this context, Zionist troops keep threatening new incursions into the Strip. The Eurasian Economic Forum 2025 kicked off Thursday in Belarus with the attendance of over 2,700 delegates from 33 countries. The meeting is held at the Minsk International Exhibition Center and has as its main agenda to debate on regional economic integration and foster the Eurasian Economic Union. The event's opening speech was delivered by Russian President Vladimir Putin, who highlighted the role of the association after a decade of its founding and stressed it has become one of the key centers of global development. The Russian leader also referred to the number of agreements signed with major trading partners and the potential deals to be carried out in the future.
The Eurasian Economic Union has concluded a number of preferences and agreements with major trading partners, Vietnam, Singapore, Serbia. In May, a free trade agreement with Iran came into force. Well, God willing, the situation in the Middle East is calming down now. The conflict between Israel and Iran is also, thank God, all in the past. This means that it will be possible to develop relations with all countries in the region, including Iran. As I said, we have concluded a corresponding agreement with them, and tomorrow at a meeting of the Supreme Eurasian Council, it is planned to sign agreements on economic cooperation with the United Arab Emirates and Mongolia.
In accordance with the Istanbul agreements, the Russian Ministry of Defense announced a new prisoner exchange with the Ukrainian regime. The Russian authorities indicated that a group of Russian servicemen were returned from the Ukrainian-controlled territory in exchange for Ukrainian armed forces prisoners. The soldiers are currently in Belarus receiving necessary psychological and medical care before being transferred to Russia. Russia and Ukraine previously agreed to exchange sick and seriously wounded soldiers, as well as transfer more than 6,000 bodies of Ukrainian servicemen. And now we have a short break coming up, but first remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, news updates and more. We'll be right back, stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. China hosts the Defense Ministers Summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization against the backdrop of the Middle East conflict and a summit of NATO countries in Europe that agreed to increase military spending. The meeting of the organization's top defense officials comes as a faltering ceasefire holds between Israel and Iran after 12 days of war. It also comes the day after a summit of North Atlantic Treaty Organization leaders held in The Hague, where members agreed to increase their defense spending to satisfy U.S. President Donald Trump. The 10-member Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a counterweight to Western-led power blocs and has promoted strengthened collaboration among its member countries in politics, security, trade and science. The organization is made up of China, Russia, India and Iran, among other Russian countries. Iran's Defense Minister Aziz Nasir-Zadeh participated in the second day of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Ministerial Summit. The senior official held bilateral meetings with his counterparts from Russia, Belarus, Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, and the host minister Dong Yun. The Shanghai Summit is a key platform for discussing regional security, counterterrorism, cooperation and broader military collaboration among member states. The Iranian defense chief arrived a day after Tel Aviv declared a unilateral ceasefire. On Thursday, China addressed statements by NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who warned of Beijing's military strength at the bloc's summit in The Hague. The Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs accused NATO of hyping up regional tensions as an excuse to justify the recent increase in military spending.
The relevant personnel from NATO have been hyping up regional tensions and smearing China's normal military development. Their aim is nothing more than to make an excuse to justify NATO's sharp increase in military spending, reckless expansion of its powers, and its strategic push eastward into the Asia-Pacific. China urges NATO to deeply reflect on itself, heed the just calls of the international community, abandon outdated Cold War thinking, block confrontation, and zero-sum games, correct its wrongful perceptions about China, and stop manipulating China-related issues. China will firmly safeguard its sovereignty, security and development interests, and will continue to contribute to global peace and stability through concrete actions.
Also in this regard, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated Thursday that a higher NATO defense spending won't have any significant impact on Russia's security.
As for the influence of this 5% limit, or rather the 5% target on our security, I do not think it will be significant. We know what goals we are pursuing. We do not hide them. We openly declare them. They are absolutely legal from the point of view of any interpretations, principles of the UN Charter, and international law. And we know what means we will always use to ensure these goals.
U.S. President Donald Trump affirmed that the United States has signed a trade-related agreement with China and said he expects to seal another with India soon. During remarks at a White House event, the U.S. President announced that China and the United Kingdom are the only two trade-related agreements that have already been sealed, but did not provide further details. Trump noted that the agreement includes a 55% U.S. tariff on Chinese goods and a 10% tariff on U.S. goods from Beijing. Also, since returning to power in January, Trump has pushed for global tariffs that he then partially paused to give other countries time to negotiate new trade pacts with the United States. The Hunting Joint Forum between China and Venezuela on communication and information technologies is underway in Caracas. At the Teresa Carreño Theater, representatives from both countries gathered to strengthen ties and develop joint policies. The meeting sought to build strategic alliances amid global South media. For this, the Chinese news agency Xinhua solidified ties with un-Venezuelan public media. During his speech at the forum, the Director General of the Chinese news agency in Latin America, Yang Yan, emphasized the importance of developing a community with a shared future in order to achieve an equitable world.
La idea de construir una comunidad de futuro compartido para la humanidad.
The idea of building a shared future for humanity evolved from a Chinese initiative into an international consensus. An increasing number of countries and peoples recognize that this concept reflects the shared values and interests of humanity. It is becoming the greatest common denominator for creating a better world and a brighter future together.
And we have a second short break coming up. Before we invite you to visit our Facebook page at teleSUR English, there you'll be able to watch our top stories, special live coverage and much more. Follow our page and activate the notification button to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. Final short break, don't go away. Welcome back to From the South. In Mexico, the Board of Directors of the National Banking and Securities Commission, CNBV, declared temporary management intervention of two financial institutions following accusations of money laundering by the U.S. government. The financial institution announced that it temporarily intervened Cibanco and Intercamp, banks that were accused on Wednesday on allegedly laundering money for drug cartels by the U.S. government. The agency also stated that the aim of the intervention is to replace their administrative bodies and legal representatives in order to safeguard the rights of the savers and clients of these institutions in view of the implications that the measures announced by the U.S. Treasury Department may have on these banks. In this sense, he explained that the financial authorities maintain their confidence in the strength and resilience of the Mexican financial system and will continue to work in permanent coordination to promote the stability and correct functioning of the system. During the balance of the implementation of the Andes 2025 task force, the Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro offered a balance of the damage caused by intense rains in several states of the nation. The head of state said that the intensity of rainfall is being evaluated mainly in western Venezuela and also across all the states of the country. Likewise, he stressed that constant coordination has also been maintained with all the governors of the affected areas to assess the people and to protect them from the registered rainfalls. The president specified that in case of the state of Mérida, 25 bridges, 370 houses, and 8,826 families were affected as a result of the heavy rains. Moreover, President Maduro reiterated that the United States and Europe deny that there is a climate change and the causes of these changes, yet they continue to promote more pollution, deteriorating the environment of the planet.
Por eso que nosotros somos invencibles.
That is why we are invincible, historically indestructible, and his example and his name marks this valuable people, the heroic way that the people mobilized themselves. I was in contact with Governor Orlando Sanchez on an hourly basis from the night of the 24th till the early morning of the 25th, because we don't rest. While others conspire and call to bomb Venezuela, we work at all hours for the protection and support of Venezuela to guarantee everything under any circumstance. Nothing will ever surprise us, neither rain nor lightning, nothing. We activated the teams in the early morning, our forces everywhere, our personal presence.
Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro affirmed that capitalism destroyed nature's balance and has put at risk the habitat where human life develops.
El cambio climático está generando
Climate change is generating temperatures well above what the planet Earth has been experiencing for millennia. There has been a change. Capitalism destroyed the ecological balance of the planet. It destroys all the balances by polluting the whole planet. Capitalism has been like a deadly evil against the habitat where human life was created, where human life is developed. And now we are running with the consequences of 2 centuries of destruction. Of contamination of the environment, with 1,000 types of particles that changed the wholly invisible balance that this planet had, and that balance has been disrupted.
On the other hand, the Venezuelan head of state announced that the president of China, Xi Jinping, made a donation of machinery to Venezuela as part of the China-Venezuela Expo.
The President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, has made a very timely and powerful donation to Venezuela of a set of machinery, which was precisely unloaded these days, as part of the China-Venezuela Expo Fair that opens on July 4th. And the China-Venezuela Expo Fair of Great Achievements. Now we are with China in the 70 Plan, 70 Venezuela, China, a plan until 2031 of Chinese investment, infrastructure, industrial works, development, technology, artificial intelligence, military cooperation, social and educational cooperation, cooperation of all kinds with our People's Republic of China.
And like this, we have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media. We are on Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram and TikTok as well. For Telesur English, I'm Alejandra Garcia. Thank you for watching.